Should you delete old blog posts? This question is a question as old as blogging itself, almost. There are two camps. There's the one camp that says, yes, if you delete old blog, they're just weighing you down, right? And the theory is that Google only has so much capacity to scan content and cache it and get it ranking in searches, right? So if there's stuff that's not getting traffic anymore, you might as well just get rid of it, and that will help boost um, the searchability of the rest of the content on your website. The other camp says if it's sitting there, if it's not doing you any harm, if it's not hurting your search rankings, why bother deleting it? I tend to fall into the second camp because the first camp, as far as I know, no one has proven that their searchability went up, that it boosted their search rankings after they did a big purge of old content. So I tend to fall into that. If it's not hurting anything, why not just leave it there? So this being the end of the year, I don't know about you, but I'm going through a lot of my old files and emails and stuff and just deleting it and getting it off my hard drive so that I can, start the year fresh with only the things that I need. And so this got me to this question is one of the things I should consider deleting a bunch of my old blog posts. So I want to share with you when I think you should delete old blog posts. It's no longer accurate or relevant. For example, for me, I still have blog posts I put up on my blog way in the beginning days of COVID when we were all shut down, and I was talking about being shut down and how that could affect your business and your digital marketing strategy. And it's just not relevant anymore. It's very specifically COVID focused. So I definitely think I'm going to delete those. So that's one case. If it's just not accurate or relevant anymore, there's a whole bunch of blog posts I also have on like Google updates, like Google released a core update. So is it time for me to delete those? Maybe, maybe not. On the one hand, no one is searching for them anymore. On the other hand, I've seen other sites about SEO where they talk about old Google updates and they'll link back to stuff from years ago, like, hey, remember this major update from, 4 years ago that everyone was talking about at the time? And they still have that blog post and they're still linking to it. So I might leave those up if only for reference. So that is something to consider. So you should, if it's inaccurate, if it's just not relevant anymore, also if it's just not on brand anymore. For example, I'll have to look. I might still have some blog posts on social media marketing, which I do not do anymore. So I will take a look. And if I still have those blog posts, I'm going to delete them. That's an example of you've grown up, your brand has evolved, those blog posts have not evolved with you. Maybe it's time to let them go. On the other hand, or they're just not bad, they're not well written. That's the other one. If you've evolved as a writer, or if you hired someone like me to write content for you and you have older content that's just not very well written, and you're like, we don't want people finding this. We don't want this reflecting on our brand anymore. We don't want this representing us. Then it's time to delete it or rewrite it. So that's the other point that I want to bring up is it's not always delete or keep. Sometimes it's a rewrite, refresh. Sometimes it's no longer accurate or there's stuff in there that's no longer accurate, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's evergreen and it is still good, or it can be made better. Maybe it just needs an update. Maybe it needs a brand refresh. Maybe you just need to edit it and touch it up a little bit, and then you can republish it. So that is my recommendation, is that you find those evergreen blog posts that for the most part are good. They just need a touch up and you can republish them. Hopefully, if you have a good cache of blogs, then you're ready to go into the new year with a whole bunch of blog posts ready to go, ready to be republished. But rebranding is also something that I'm working on for myself, for my own brand, as we close out the year. So I will absolutely be looking at my old blog posts with that lens, as far as, this is no longer speaking to the people that I want to be speaking to. It's not resonating with the audience that I really want to attract. So I can I can rewrite it and then republish it so that it is speaking and resonating with those audiences, or I can just trash it and write something totally new. So that is my tip for you. As we get into the end of the year and you're thinking about deleting and or rewriting, republishing, refreshing, Those are some tips to consider. Is it still accurate? Is it still relevant? Is it still well written? Does it still reflect your brand? If the answer to the first two is no, then delete it. If the answer to the first two is yes, then the second two, maybe the last one, is not so much. Maybe it just needs a refresh. Maybe it just needs to be updated, and then you can republish it, have blog posts ready to go for January. That's it. If you have any questions, if you are looking for help with your blog, your newsletter, your brand, always happy to talk about that. You can reach me, as always, here on YouTube, over on LinkedIn. I think I'm the only Allison Verhalen on there. You can also reach me at my website, AV, as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. And you can reach me directly at info@avwritingservices.com. That's it. Have a great week and a happy holiday and happy blogging, everyone.